Hey guys, it's Jennifer from Live, Laugh, Love to Read. Today I'm doing a book review on Yellow Wife by Sadeqa Johnson. So I read this on my computer, so this is the only picture I have. I hope you can see it. Yeah, that might look really weird. But yeah, that's the only one I got. Yellow Wife by Sadeqa Johnson. 5 stars. 5 stars! Oh, this book was so good. But it was an emotional roller coaster, let me tell you. So we've got Phoebe Dolores Brown. Now, Phoebe is spelled Pheby. She is born a slave on the Bell Plantation in Charles City, Virginia. Her mother, the plantation's medicine woman. Her father, the plantation owner, Master Jacob. Master Jacob and his sister, Miss Sally, favor Phoebe for her light skin and her natural beauty. Miss Sally teaches her to read, play the piano, and spends her days with Phoebe. Then, Miss Sally passes away. Yeah. So, Phoebe and her mother are the seamstresses of the plantation. So they spend their days in a shed, like a sewing shed, mending and sewing and making curtains and clothes and such. So, yeah. Mrs. Delfino, who is Master Jacob's wife, new wife, is very jealous of Phoebe. So she's openly cruel to her, hitting her and pinching her and talking bad to her and just like really mean to her. While Jacob is away on a business trip, she quickly sells Phoebe to slave traders and arranges for her transport to the infamous Devil's Half-Acre Jail in Richmond, Virginia. It's a filthy jail. Filthy, nasty. So she goes in the wagon with other slaves, and where they go is Lapeer Gel. Now, Lapeer Gel is an auction house for selling slaves, and they are held there in the most disgusting and most inhumane conditions. So they're all squished together inside this jail, and it's really, really hot. So Phoebe describes she's standing in human waste, whether it be blood, feces, vomit, doesn't matter. Food, rotted food. It's just disgusting. So it comes time for her turn to be on the auction block, and they tell her to take off her dress so everybody can see. Now, Phoebe is a mulatto, so she is pretty pale. So she refuses to take her dress off. So Reuben Lapeer, the jailer of the jail, like the owner of this place, decides to take her and buy her. And she becomes his mistress. And he never marries her, but she has his children. She has 4 daughters for him, and she is pretty much white. So even though everybody knows she's a mulatto, he still passes her. He calls her his mistress of the jail. Yeah. So Reuben wants children, and so begins his plan to make Phoebe mistress of the Devil's Half-Acre Jail. Yeah. So she quickly begins to understand she has worth as a mulatto woman, and perhaps her life with Reuben will be better than most white women. And it is. So Reuben gets off on whipping slaves. So when he has to whip a slave, he is extra rough with Phoebe at night and extra frenzied, and yeah, so he gets off on it. And so she realizes why he was called the devil. He is the devil. She calls him the jailer in her mind. But she's always pleasant, always, yes, I love you, always this, always that. because she has learned from her mother's knee to be sweet and always passive and all that. Now her mother passed away before she left the plantation. She was the medicine woman of the plantation, so she did all the had all her herbs and everything, and all her recipes are in Phoebe's journal that she keeps hidden. Now, since she learned to write and read and play piano, all that, she needs to hide that because it's against the law to teach the slaves how to read and write. But at one point, Reuben realizes that she can read and write, and then he ends up whipping a slave in front of her so that she knows that she needs to hide that. Yeah. But when he realizes that she can play the piano, he has her play the piano for him every night. And he also has a tavern for whenever the slave buyers come. He entertains them and, all this. And she plays the piano and everything. So, also, they have fancy girls, have the slaves who come through, the women, and part of Phoebe's job is to get them prettied up, and they call them the fancy girls, and basically what they're doing is bathing them and getting them dressed in a pretty dress, and then they go up for sale to men to use as their whores. Yeah. It's terrible. So this book has many, many, many things in it that is very disturbing. It has rape, it has child death, it has beatings, floggings. Yes, this is a book about slaves in the 1850s. This book was so disturbing and enlightening, but I feel like it's necessary. It's necessary for people to read it. I got my hair cut and this part right here is being weird. But yeah, I feel like it's necessary. And I really, really was into this book. Like, I read it like in 2 days and I was into it. But so Phoebe has 4 daughters for Reuben. And then she also has a son, but the son is not his. She was pregnant when she got there. And the son is a man by Essex. And Essex was a slave at the plantation that she came from, who escaped and eventually gets caught and is brought to the jail that Phoebe is the mistress of. So, but what you can imagine that that Reuben Lapeer, the jailer, doesn't treat the son very well because it's not his son, right? And he is black. But she makes him promise in the very beginning when they get together that he will never sell her son and that he will never take a wife. And he agrees. He's like, I don't want you to be afraid of me. I want to love you. I want to give you lovely things. I want you to give me children and all this. And he does do all that. But she realizes real fast why they call him the devil. Because he is a horrid, horrible man. And she watches him beat and flog a black woman naked. And as he's beating her, she loses her baby, and it just slides out of her. And oh my God, that was a horrifying scene. But what's even worse is this is a fiction book, but it is based on, things that really happen, and it's just horrifying. So, the end of the book I like the end of the book, and I love Sadeqa Johnson's writing style. I want to say I read another book by her. Is it Kitchen? Let's look it up. Sadeqa Johnson. Okay, I'm thinking Kitchen. Let's see. No? Okay, it wasn't. Okay, so that might be the only book I've read by her, which is good. So then I can read her other books. Looks like she's got Second House from the Corner. Is that it? Okay, that might be it. But I was thinking she wrote, maybe she did not write Kitchen House. If you haven't read Kitchen House, you need to read that. That was really good too. I can't remember who wrote that, but that was good. Anyway, okay, so she wrote And Then There Was Me, a novel of friendship, secrets, and lies. So, yeah. I'll be looking for her other books. Here's another picture of the book. I hope you can see it since it's on the computer, and you can probably see the lines in the computer. But you guys know I don't edit videos. What you see is what you get. It's me just talking to you. Now I do, my husband actually edits our my little free library tour videos, but whenever I'm just sitting here talking, I don't edit because I don't know how and I don't really want to learn. And that brings me to, we are going on our first trip in our RV. We are going to South Dakota. Yeah, I'm so excited. If you didn't know, I live in Oklahoma. So every time we go anywhere else, I'm just totally excited. So yeah, we'll be going to South Dakota, and we will be doing little free library tours on the way and when we get there and all that. So stay tuned for those. Those seem to be my most popular videos, which I'm so glad. But I also do these book reviews, and I think to myself, am I wasting my time? I don't know. They don't get that many views. But guess what? I'm still going to do them because I like to talk about books, and I like to talk about the books that I just read. So I'm going to still do them. That's it, guys. That's all I got. If you like this video, how about a like? And while you're here, how about a subscribe? Don't forget to check back for more book videos coming up soon. Thanks, friends. I'll see you next time.